Once upon a time, a long time ago. I mean a long time ago. Like 40 years ago. There was a man named Mr. Purvis. He really felt like God wanted him to start a Christian school. Whoa, that's a good idea. So he called his good friend Dr. David Lloyd. Don't forget about your wife, Mrs. Lloyd. And he asked him to pray about starting a Christian school. So they prayed about this vision for the future. This was in 1982. Was that when dinosaurs were on the earth? No, silly. They asked other people to start praying too. And they all prayed 2 times a week for a whole year.
They'll meet every Wednesday and Saturday to pray.
And pray some more. That's a lot of praying. The Dr. Lloyd met with families and pastors from the area. In 1982, he invited pastors from Owsley Park Church, Northway, to a yummy breakfast. I wonder if there were pancakes, like PJ Pancake Day with Mrs. Beecham. He told the pastors what everyone has been praying for. And he sailed the vision for the future of a Christian school. God heard and answered their prayers, and the Eden Christian Academy began. Eden's first classes started in the fall of 1983 in Allison Park Church. It opened with only 2 teachers, 1 secretary, and 35 students.
Can you believe that?
Only 2 teachers and 1 office lady?
And 35 students.
But God was working and still is answering prayers.
And boy, did this vision for the future change.
Eden kept growing. In 1985, only 2 years after the school has opened, Eden had grown to include a preschool, kindergarten, and 1st to 6th grade classes. In 1986, Pastor Jay Passavant opened his church, Northway Christian Community, and the Wexford campus was started.
Hey, that's my school.
Yay for Wexford! I love my school. We have the best teachers.
But God was still working and answering prayers. And this vision for the future changed again.
In 1987, Eden Christian Academy had another campus in Swickley. Dr. John Guest was the pastor there at that time. Eden had 3 campuses with pastors who loved the mission-minded school. Then in 1991, Eden grew all the way to 8th grade.
But God was still working and answering prayers.
And the vision for the future changed yet again.
In 1992, only 6 years after the Wexford campus opened,
Our Berkeley Hills campus opened.
What? Wow!
Hey, that's our campus. I love my Berkeley Hills school. It has the best Lego wall. But listen to this really cool story on how our Berkeley Hills campus opened. So first, this other school, North Hills Public School, sold their building to a credit union.
What's a credit union?
Oh, that's kind of like a bank.
Anyway, the credit union totally made it look really spiffy.
Like really, really amazing. I mean, have you seen the Berkeley Hills campus? It is beautiful.
But anyway, the credit union decided they couldn't use the whole building after all.
So they sold the building to Eden.
And then they rented back a small amount of space from Eden.
My dad would say you take that deal all day long. But God wasn't done. He's still working and answering prayers.
He was doing more than we could have imagined, and the vision for the future changed again.
Now we had all these students through 8th grade, but no high school for them to attend.
So you probably guessed by now what the leadership, families, and pastors started doing.
Yep, people started praying for an upper school.
and in the fall of 2004, Mount Nebo campus opened its doors.
Every year, another grade was added.
Until eventually we had all 9th through 12th grades.
And in 2007, Eden graduated its first class with 7 students.
Now some of you may be thinking, what?
Seriously? 7 students?
But did you know that in the Bible, the number 7 represents perfection?
God was establishing a perfect plan with the first graduating class of 7 students.
But He wasn't done. God was still working and still answering our prayers.
And He was doing more than we could ever think or imagine.
And the vision for the future changed again.
Between the years of 2007 and 2017, the school grew.
In 10 years, God had risen up one of the top-rated Christian schools in Western Pennsylvania and the tri-state area.
Our student body represents 32 districts and 130 churches. We have 11 AP classes and 2 college and high school courses.
저희 학교는 전 세계 6개 국가의 학생들이 현재 재학 중입니다.
Eden joined the PIAA and WPIL in 2011 to 2012 school year.
The mock trial team finished as semifinalists in the 2023 state championship.
Over the last 10 years, Eden has organized 5 different mission trips.
Eden has produced Division I scholarship athletes.
There are over 50 colleges and universities and vocational schools represented with our graduates.
Eden also has students who receive National Merit Scholarships.
But even after all that, God wasn't done working. He was still answering prayers.
And the vision for the future changed.
In 2017, God laid on the hearts of many to help build Eden's new beautiful math and science building so they could produce students who excelled in these areas.
God has still been working at Eden Christian Academy.
He has called and equipped our school to be a light in society that is long overdue for godly leadership.
Eden is partnering with our families to raise future leaders and warriors for Christ.
We need God's unchanging wisdom in our businesses, homes, government, churches, and schools.
Will you help us be those leaders that God has called us to be? To work in a world that so desperately needs men and women of character who love God, work hard, and love others.
Will you help us be those leaders who enter the fields of science, art, and business?
Will you help us be those leaders that go into police forces, military, ministry, or mission fields?
Will you help us be the leaders that work in hospitals, schools, or other careers dedicated to helping others?
Will you help us be those leaders that innovate, invent, and create?
Will you help us be whatever it is we are called to be?
Will you help Eden Christian Academy build for our future warriors?